What's my cue?
Hey bestie, it's Kati Wasserman. I am a mom, an esthetician, the owner of Flagstaff Skincare Med Spa, and Prickly Bear Skincare, a post hair removal line. I started Beauty Talk Confessions because honestly, I got tired of how fake the beauty industry can feel. The conversations that happen between wax strips, peels, and facials that no one ever talks about publicly, we are gonna go there. So grab your coffee, get comfy, and let's peel back the layers, one confession at a time. Welcome to Beauty Talk Confessions, where the secrets come out and the glow gets real. Hey everyone, welcome back to Beauty Talk Confessions. I'm Kati Wasserman, and today's episode is one I've been really looking forward to because it goes deeper than products, trends, or techniques. It goes straight to the heart of what beauty can actually be. I'm sitting down with Samantha Gilhooly, an intimacy and embodiment coach and longtime clinical counselor who helps people reconnect with their bodies, rebuild confidence, and heal from the past experiences through compassion-centered, trauma-informed work. And I wanted to bring Sam on here because I truly believe beauty is never just surface level. In our industry, we're not only working with skin, we're working with identity, with nervous systems, with the parts of people that feel exposed. And sometimes a simple service like waxing, skincare, and touch can either feel deeply empowering or unexpectedly emotional. Sam breaks down why that happens, how healing actually works in the body, and what it can look like to rebuild confidence in a way that feels safe, grounded, and real. Just a quick note before we start. We do talk about trauma and intimacy in a general educational way, so please take care of yourself as you listen. I think you're going to love this one. Let's jump into it. Welcome back to Beauty Talk Confessions. I'm Kati Wasserman, and today I'm here with Samantha. She is an intimacy and embodiment coach who helps people reconnect with their bodies, rebuild confidence, and heal from past experiences through compassion-centered, trauma-informed work. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited for you to be on the show as well. You have such an amazing story, and I love what you do, and I would love for you to share, how did you get into what you're doing?
Oh, okay. That's a big question. How did I get into what I'm doing? So, surprisingly, this started from when I was really young. I was in elementary school and I was putting my coat away. I'd just come back in from recess and I was putting my coat away, hanging my coat on the rack. And my friend Tyler, he looked at me and he's like, yo, like, we're nominating you for the class award. And I was like, what? What is the class award? I don't even know what that is. And then all of a sudden I was like all nervous. I'm like, oh my God, what? Like I'm getting nominated for a class award? And he's like, well, that's the award where like, you're just really kind to people. You're compassionate and you set a really good example for the students. And I was extremely shocked because I was like, oh, damn, like people see me like this? Like I didn't even know that. I'm just out here being myself and I'm getting nominated for this award, right? And so
Amazing.
I was like, oh my gosh, like that's so nice. So that kind of planted the seed. So I know you mentioned that I'm an embodiment and intimacy coach, but so I'm also 10 plus years clinical counselor and therapist. So I've been working with survivors of sexual violence and domestic violence for over 10 years. And this incident that I described from elementary school, this experience, like in that moment, I knew that I wanted to take just like who I am as a person, my compassion, my personality, all of the things that Tyler so kindly highlighted for me. And I was like, I could make a living out of this, And so I ended up taking that route. But, aside from the professionalism part of it, is like I have my own lived experience of sexual violence and domestic violence. And I know that it's so not easy to heal from these things and to move forward from it. It took me a really long time. Like I was in a bunch of really unhealthy relationships. Some were physical, some were more emotional. And it got to the point where like my self-esteem was just so crappy. Like I was constantly letting male partners just like define who I was. And it was these patterns that just kept repeating around like not feeling worthy enough, like letting people take advantage of me, and just like brushing off, honestly, like a lot of abuse and normalizing it. And that has to root until that roots it to my childhood and like seeing certain things growing up within my own family dynamics and what was normalized for me. And to be honest, like it took me, I would say, probably about 7 to 10 years to, like, actually fully come out of it, and none of us are never, like, fully healed.
Yeah.
But right now, it's like I over the past few years, I'm like, "Wow," like, I've really come so much into my own emotional security, my own confidence, and actually, like, being able to voice and express my needs, and not just with other people, but with myself, because I was hiding a lot of myself from myself too, like, not just from other people, but from myself, and just denying myself of, like, my true authenticity, you know? Like, for example, I'm somebody, like, I have this very sweet side to me, and I also have, like, a very savage, direct side, and a very sensual side, like, I'm built up of all these different parts. And what I was most known for was, "Oh, like, Sammy's so sweet," and, like, she's, like, it's just, like, known as this, like, good girl,
Yeah.
and I got, like, really fucking tired of it
Yeah.
because I was like, "Okay, I'm tired of being this good girl because it's killing me inside because I'm putting everybody else in front of me." And it was impacting, my intimate relationships, my friendships, and my relationship with my spirituality. And I was like, nah, like no more of this. And over a period of time, I slowly started to peel back these layers of myself. And while I was like helping other people do it as well too. And now I'm empowering women with, bringing out their truest self in the bedroom. Not just in the bedroom, like, not just, like, bedroom and sex, but also, like, the emotional piece of intimacy, because that's what I feel is most important is, like, the emotional safety. The physical safety is obviously important as well too, but the way that we build that physical safety has to come with our own sense of being and belonging and how we actually feel in our bodies. So, that's kind of like a little summary of my story. And how I got here.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
First off, I'm sorry that you went through those experiences.
Oh, thanks.
That's really, really hard, but I can tell and just hear how how proud you are to be able to surface all of that and come to it and then be
Yeah.
able to help people and really share your story and how important it is to be present and also be okay to share that story and work through it, which as hard as it is, like you said, it's never going to be something that you're fully, completely over. And it's
Yeah.
something so hard, but you're doing so amazing helping other women and sharing your story it's so amazing.
Thank
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you so much for seeing that. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I would love to know since you have been doing this for quite a while and with your
Mhm.
own journey and kind of working through becoming this just kind girl, but then still being kind, but really centering yourself and coming to terms with yourself instead of allowing other people to take over. How do you feel like intimacy and confidence and feeling safe in your body interact with why so many people disconnect from their bodies after trauma and shape-based experiences?
Yeah. So it's a big question. So I'm gonna like try and break it down into pieces. So like let's start with like the feeling safe part, because I mean safety is like the root of confidence and high quality and fulfilling intimacy. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so like if we're not feeling safe in our body and in our minds, what happens is we start to just go into complete survival mode and protection mode, right? And although our mind is constantly trying to predict outcomes to keep us quote unquote safe, this can create like an inner sabotage, and they're staying in these loops and like these certain belief systems that were caused by trauma and the post impacts of trauma. Because remember, like, yes, our experiences after trauma I feel like that is what is the biggest impact on it, like, the incident itself as well too, but I feel like it's, like, the follow-up impacts and the effects of it, right? And
Yeah.
so, like, we can look at these from, like, an individual and intersectional perspective. So, like, if someone doesn't feel confident enough to express their needs and intimacy, it really comes down, like I said, to like emotional security and
Yeah.
their sense of inner safety and their sense of self concept. Like, how are they seeing themselves and how do they perceive that they're valued, right? Because, and I want to be really clear for your listeners. Like, if you're struggling with how you're seeing yourself, it doesn't mean that it's going to stay like that forever. That's something that I used to feel like in my own experiences. Like, I just felt really messed up. I was like, "Oh my gosh, like I'm so broken, like I'm like these damaged goods and no one's gonna want me because I'm just so emotionally unstable." And like so if you're listening to this and you feel like that's where you are at right now, no matter where you're at in your journey, there is a way for you to actually come back into self-regulation and to start seeing yourself with confidence. And we can talk about that a little bit later. But
I love that. Yeah.
yeah, but also too, so like if we come back to the root of safety in the body and the mind, if that piece is missing, like often shame is going to show up. Often there's going to be low confidence and you're going to
Yeah.
not be fulfilled in your intimacy and relationship. And to talk about it sort of from like a brain and nervous system experiences is like why people are so disconnected from their bodies after trauma and shame is because the mind and body, like in that incident, it actually goes through a split, like a split between the mind and the body. And so, like, what actually happens is when someone goes through a traumatic incident in that moment, the body is automatically going into the survival mode. And this can look so different for each individual. So, like, we know the different responses, like fawning, fleeing, um, what are the other ones?
Mm.
Freezing, all, all the different like trauma responses, right?
Yeah.
And there's different parts of the brain that actually start to shut off and different parts of the brain that actually will start to activate when they've like gone through that traumatic experience. So for example, like the PFC, the prefrontal cortex, right? Like that's responsible for logical thinking, decision making, emotional sense of self, like all of those things. That part actually usually, not with everybody, but for majority of people when they're going through that traumatic incident, that part actually shuts down and the amygdala, which is like the actual part of the brain that is responsible for like scanning for safety, that's on alert, that
Yeah.
starts to activate.
The
And
defense mechanism. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and there's all these other systems in our body, like our adrenal system, our pituitary glands, our adrenal glands, like all of these things start to activate, and the body starts to be filled with adrenaline,
Yeah.
cortisol, norepinephrine, like all of these things start to flood our body. And then like what happens after you're out of the incident, like it starts to all wear off, right? Just like as
Yeah.
if you were in like a car accident and you were hit by a car, like your body's going through this big emotional response. And then after it starts to wear off, and then you start to feel like maybe that pain in your neck, right? And it's like, okay, well, how can I heal from this? And it's the same thing when it comes to emotional stuff as well too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. So I mean, there like this is such like a multi-layered question. But I think like a big reason as to like why there's severe impact after trauma and like why many women especially are unable to unable in the moment, I should say, to like come back to their confidence is because their body is storing the memory of the actual experience. And it's storing it from a sense, like a lot of people think that it starts from the brain, but it's actually the sensory perspective that gets picked up first. So like images, audio, sense, like all of your senses are activating first, you
Yeah. And then
know?
the brain's reliving it and kind of, yes,
Yeah.
I can see
And
that.
and so when that happens, it, we're human beings and we're very like emotional. We're emotional beings and we feel things in our body. And so if we have that feeling that we've taken from that traumatic experience of like not feeling worthy enough, like where's that showing up in our body? I always ask my clients that like where does that show up in your body? How can we have a different conversation with that part of your body to change that narrative, right? How can we bring in, like I was talking about the sensory stuff, like How can we bring in different scents? How can we bring in different visuals, creating different experiences and choosing differently so that we can show our bodies and our nervous systems like, oh, this is our new baseline, you know?
Yeah. And start to
So
work on rewriting the memory as much as you can.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. And so I really like, again, for anybody who's listening, like your healing journey, it is so possible for you to get to where you want to be, and just know that wherever you're at in your journey, there's always that gap between like where you are and where you want to be. And I also believe too, just as a practitioner, is like you have to be self-committed to this journey if you want to see those changes. Like it's not gonna happen in one therapy session. I had someone come to me the other day. They're like, "Hey, can I come see you just like whenever I want?" And I was like, "That's not how healing works. Like you need to be committed and dedicated to yourself, not just like whenever everything's going bad or you're not feeling good. Like it's not like a band-aid fix. Like this also requires a lot of deep self-commitment and
Yeah,
self-devotion as well, too."
definitely. And
Yeah.
there's more work outside of what you're able to do with them, and people have to kind of continue that to be able to really see
Yeah.
the process. Yeah, I can see.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
So
for anyone who's listening, just because I feel like it's such a hard topic with trauma and everything like that, is there, besides seeking out and help having some therapy, is there any other things that
mhm.
they can do to start working on feeling a little bit more seen and feeling a little bit more confident in themselves?
Yeah. And it's probably not anything that they haven't heard of yet, but one thing that works for me, that's worked for my clients as well too, is mirror work.
Mm,
And the reason I recommend mirror work is because like you're literally having to look yourself
mhm.
dead straight in the eyes and rewrite these stories, right? And so I've helped clients like work through stuff around intimacy and like gaining more confidence in their body. So I'll give you an example of something that I walked my client through.
Yes, I
So
love that.
yeah, so she had come to me and she was like, I want to feel more confident in like my physical body.
Okay.
I feel like she was more worried about, like, her stomach area, like all of us women, like, that's, like, the the weak part of us, right? Like, our
See,
weakness is our stomach area because we hold all of our emotions there, right?
yes.
And and so I had asked her, I said, "Okay, let's, like that's the part that you don't like about yourself, but let's come back, like, are there parts of yourself that you actually do like?" And she's like, "Yeah, like, I love my legs, I love my arms," and she's like, "I do think that I have a really pretty face," and I was like, "Okay, that's great, okay? Now let's pull from these parts of yourself and let's bring it back into this area of like, okay, like what like and I got her to also think about like what is her stomach actually like representing for her,
Yes,
right?
yeah, like, what was she holding on to that at, like yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of it was like her sense, again, like her sense of self-worth,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And then she was talking about, I feel like if I don't flatten my stomach or if I don't something about this, that I'm never going to like be able to wear a bathing suit and feel good in it, right?
Mhm.
And I had to just like challenge her on that and say, okay, like I want you to just stand in the mirror. And I get this is gonna sound really weird, but I get my clients to like do this naked, not while they're on the phone with me, in the
Yes.
privacy of their own presence.
Their own privacy, I love it.
And look at themselves and like actually place their hands because I believe I'm very spiritual and I love doing energy work as well too, but I just believe that our hands are so healing and like we've been given these hands for a reason. And to place your hands on your stomach and to just like start having a conversation with your stomach around like, okay, like what am I holding on to? And like
Yeah,
let it speak to you, like actually listen. And people are like, "Okay, well, how do I listen to my stomach?" Well, it's just like, okay, like what are the first things that come to you when like you're actually having this conversation and just
I
learning
love
to trust your intuition, trust
yeah,
the answers that are coming up initially for you, even if
yeah,
it doesn't make logical sense.
yeah. And
And
repeat
then
things as well, and then kind of work through that.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And just like holding on to your stomach area and saying, "You know what? Like, I understand that there might be some extra weight here that's trying to protect me from something." And closing your eyes and saying like, "It's like, I feel safe to let go. Like, I don't need the protection of the weight. I don't need the protection. I am an adult and I'm here to just let go of this." And so she did this for, I would say, like a month. I had her
Mhm.
do it for like a month straight.
Yeah.
And she actually started to see physical results.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah, she started to see physical results, but not only that is like and again, like I know this exercise sounds like really basic, very simple, but it's these simple things that we actually have to come back to. Healing
Yeah.
is it's not a complex thing. It's
Yeah.
not a complex thing. It's just as human beings, we find it really hard to do the simple things because we think it's not going to work because it's that simple, you
Yeah.
know?
Totally.
But
One, especially when things are held on because of like trauma or things we can't overcome, you have to work through it, like you said, and find that love or that balance to be able to
yeah,
work through it. And so for her, it sounds like once she kind of came to terms, her body was able to kind of like settle with the mind. And they're like, okay, now we can work this
yeah,
out. I love
exactly.
that.
Because when we hold on to things, when we go through traumatic experiences, we have these insecurities, it's like your body is like literally tensing up all the time around wherever you're feeling it. And so what happens when your body's going through stress, I mean, this could happen differently for every woman. Most women tend to put on weight in that area, and
Yeah.
some tend to actually like lose weight and lose their appetite and things like that, right? But with this clients specifically, and with majority of my clients, they tend to hold on to that weight in that area, right?
Mhm.
And then, like, also too is when there's so much stress on the body, it leads to so many other health conditions, like,
It really does.
especially if you're going through hormonal changes. Oh my goodness. I'm
Mhm.
sure you probably know a lot about that, right? It's just like
Yes.
it's crazy. It's crazy, like, the way that our bodies can fluctuate and the way that, like, if we don't actually take the initiative to learn about our bodies, not just what we're reading on online, but learn about our bodies from our own body's wisdom. If we don't take the time, we're gonna drive ourselves crazy because we're gonna think like, "Oh my gosh, like I'm quote unquote fat," or "Oh my gosh, I'm gaining all this weight," and
Yeah.
like thinking bad things about ourselves, like really unhelpful things that are harmful to us, and it's gonna make the situation worse instead of understanding like for an example, like with our menstrual cycles. Before I knew about, like, my menstrual cycle, I was like, "Oh my gosh, like, there's literally something wrong with me every month." And then I started to learn about my menstrual cycle. I'm like, "Oh my god, girl, I'm just in my luteal phase."
Yeah. Yes.
You know? And so, um, learning your body through your own wisdom, I think, is so crucial as a woman. It's so crucial, and it's crucial to just building the relationship with yourself and the confidence that is actually I believe, and this is maybe controversial, but I believe that everybody has confidence within them. It just needs to be brought up out of like the root of where it's being stored. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Covering it. I love it.
yeah, because like yes, like you can build skills on confidence and stuff like that. There are things that are a skill that you can incorporate into your confidence, but I
Yeah.
just believe that we come from a really beautiful source, and I don't believe that that source is going to put us on this earth to feel like shit all the time. I
Yeah.
think that
I
our human experiences have these layers that have caused us to cover up of like who we actually are. And at the core of us, we are all beings of love and joy. And it's just around finding that again and remembering that.
yeah. I love
Yeah.
that. That's so
Yeah.
powerful. Thank you. That's great.
Yeah.
Quick pause before we keep going. If you're enjoying this episode, make sure to follow Beauty Talk Confessions and show some love by leaving a quick review or rating, and share this with someone you think you would enjoy it. That's how the space grows. This episode is sponsored by Prickly Bear Wax and Skincare, launching this summer. You can join our email list at pricklybear.com, BARE, to get early updates and pre-launch discounts. All right, back to the conversation. Well, so from your perspective, how can beauty rituals on body-based care like waxing, massage, skincare, or even self-touch practices become tools for healing rather than performances or pressures?
I love this question. Okay, so as someone, okay, like I'm gonna sort of talk from my own experience, but
Please. I love it.
yeah, like these rituals, I know I see a lot online where they're like, "Oh, like, self-care is not doing, like, the aesthetic stuff," but sometimes it is, like, I mean, it depends on, like, where you're at in your healing journey, and I
Yeah.
think it's so individualistically based on, like, okay, like, maybe maybe getting your nails done and getting your eyebrows done does actually make you feel like a bad bitch.
Yeah.
Why not? I
Yeah.
know it is for me. Like, my I'll share this story after, but, like, I had an eyebrow incident.
Oh god. Please share, please share. Yes. We'll share this after. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, I had an eyebrow incident
Mhm.
where, like, at one point, I did not let anybody touch my eyebrows except for one person
Oh,
because she
yes.
did it so well,
Yep.
and yeah, like, I know you get it, you're in the beauty industry, and I'm just like, if my eyebrows look effed up,
Yeah.
I just feel like it just messes with my whole face, you know?
Yeah. You feel like everyone's just looking at that one brow and you're like, "Ah,
Yeah.
no." Yeah.
I say this, by the way, with my eyebrows not done currently at the moment. I have to go and do them soon, but
You look
it's
great.
okay.
You look
Yeah,
great.
but anyway, so I went to this I was getting this is so many years ago, I just remember this so viscerally, but I just had finished getting my nails done, and my regular eyebrow lady, she wasn't available,
Oh
and
gosh.
the nail salon that I was at, they were like, "Oh, like, we do eyebrows here," and I'm like, "Oh god."
Yes.
I'm like, "Okay, you know what? I'm gonna trust. I'm gonna
I'm gonna
trust that
get
they're
them
gonna do a
done.
good job."
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like, I have quite a lot of hair on my eyebrows, and when
Yes.
I left that appointment, I did not. It was so horrible, and I started crying there. Like, I just started bawling my eyes out, and the owner, I guess she heard that I was crying, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, like, what happened?" I was like, "Why are you like, this is so bad. Like, look at my eyebrows. Like, one is a different shape than the other.
Oh,
They took
no.
off so much hair," and I was just
Yeah.
like
Where
I
my
was
eyebrows? Ah,
yeah, I was so upset. And, like, to me, like I said, like, my eyebrows, like, there's certain things I'm really particular about in
yeah.
when it comes to, like, certain beauty stuff, and one is my eyebrows, one is my hair. I stopped getting, like, fake nails and stuff, and now I have some, like, nice natural nails, so I love that. But I just remember in that moment, I was like, "Oh my gosh, like, I don't wanna go out anywhere because I didn't want people to see me." I didn't
Oh,
want
yeah.
people and, like, to another person, they're probably, like, not gonna care about the shape of my eyebrows. They probably won't even notice.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. So that's
But I
yeah.
cared, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, that did impact the way that I felt about myself and my confidence, right? And
Yeah.
then I've had really great experiences, like, you asked about body-based, treatments, right? And so,
Yes.
anybody who's listening, I cannot recommend this enough, but, like, if you can go get yourself a massage on a regular basis,
Oh, yes.
like, not only do you feel good, it is amazing for, like, healing your trauma, for moving trauma out of the body. It is
Yeah.
amazing, and so for those of you who don't know, like, I live in Mexico, and I go for massages regularly. It is a lot more affordable here, but my massage lady, this poor woman, like, when I had first came to Mexico, she I was going through a whole lot, like, I had just undergone, like, a really traumatic experience, and I was healing from it, and being in, like, a new country, a new environment. I didn't speak Spanish at the time. It was really challenging for me, so, like, healing from the trauma that I had just left, and then coming into this new culture, this new environment, like, all of this, even though I was having the time of my life at the same time, I was
Yeah.
still going through my shit, you know? And so,
Yeah.
my massage lady, this poor woman, she's one of my, like, really good friends till this day, but
Yeah.
there was multiple times that I was just laying on her massage table, and I would just like, burst into tears
Oh my
because
gosh, just the release. Yeah.
yeah, the release, at first, like, I remember when I was first going regularly, she even, like, she had a conversation with me. She's like, "Hey, like, I noticed that, like, you're not even able to fully enjoy the massage and relax." And because my mind was just constantly on repeat of, like,
Yeah.
maybe things that happen or, like, worrying about the future, and just I wasn't able to be present. And that's, like, one thing that I have learned throughout my healing journey is, like, if you wanna be confident, if you want to have a fulfilling, intimate life, presence is crucial. It's one of the number one things that you need to have, is if you don't have presence, your energy is gonna be spread to so many different places, and people feel that. You know, you can feel when someone is, like, actually listening to you and present with you, and you can feel when someone is, like, not paying attention to what you're saying, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I
But
agree.
yeah, so my massage lady, so I'm crying on her massage table, and this woman, I'm butt naked, and she starts to hug me. She's
Oh,
just
mhm.
hugging me while I'm naked crying on her table. Like, I was like, "Oh my goodness." And she calls me, like, her second daughter, but, like, to
Mhm.
have that support, now I
Yes.
know not all massage ladies are gonna do that.
Yeah.
But if you guys want my massage lady's number, I can give it to you. You guys can come for a nice treatment in Mexico. But,
Yes, vacation. I love it.
yeah, but that was so healing for me, and as I continued to keep going on a regular basis, like, I was going weekly at one point because, my body was just so tense, and I needed it. Um, I don't go as often now, like, maybe once a month, which is still
Okay.
good,
Yeah.
but I needed to repeat and repeat and get those reps in even with, like, the massages, because if I didn't practice relaxing, I wouldn't be able to be present in where I am today. So I do believe that body-based rituals, body-based treatments are extremely helpful with the right practitioner, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
totally agree. Well, and you definitely something I didn't even think about while I was coming up with these questions and getting on our conversation is even in my own story, I feel like what you kinda hit for me is I was the person that when I first was getting massages before I got into aesthetics and got
Mm.
comfortable with just seeing people naked and being around the body, and
Mhm.
then just everyone's so human, and I love
Yeah.
every client I've ever had, I, like, absolutely love them and everything like that, but for me, I have, like, a profound memory of getting massages and being that person. I even got massages when my mom would treat me a little bit when I was younger, but I would wear, like, my underwear, I had, like, the covers up, everything was, like, very scary. I remember my
Yeah.
first massage, I think I told my mom that the person I was like they told me to take my shirt off, and she's like, "That it was fine," but it was kinda something I had to work through with my own body
Yeah.
images and my own confidence and with waxing and things like that. Now, like, I don't even care about getting naked for a massage. I'm like, "Eh, whatever." I've also had 2
Yeah.
kids. It's a little bit different now, but
Yeah.
it's really important, I feel like, what you said, to continue going and having that and working through that and being in a space where someone is you're comfortable with them, and so you can work
Yeah.
through it and also be seen. Like, oh my gosh, for that massage therapist to just take that moment and hug you, that she's she's love I love that. You really are her second daughter. I love it.
Yeah, she calls me her second princess, so I feel really honored to, like, carry that name, but yeah,
Yeah.
you're right, like, I think it really depends on the safe space that a practitioner creates as well too, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
with anything. But I'm
Yeah.
so curious, like, okay, so you mentioned that you had that challenge before, and now you're just like, okay, like, it's just like it's like second nature to you now, so
Yeah.
was it the reps that helped you, or was there anything else that you felt was helpful for you to get from there to where you are now?
I've definitely done, like, a lot of self-work and everything like that. I
Mhm.
have just my own anxiety and traumas and things like that that I've always been, like, working through. I feel like we all have things that we're
Yeah.
working through. That's the journey of life. But I've always been active and curious about, like, just diving deeper into them and understanding them and then being comfortable, I guess, with the uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I am dyslexic, and so at a young age, I, like, had a lot of anxiety that my mom, got me into some really cool, like, therapy where I was working with this woman where we would create, like, dolls and I don't know, we would create doll houses and all this other stuff, but we worked through it, and she really allowed me, like, through, I guess, the process and even talking to you, like I have to kind of be in motion to work through things. And I feel like for
Yeah.
me, yes, it was like seeing people, but then also like seeing being seen, but then seeing people myself, kind of having that balance allowed me to like come to terms with it. And like,
Mhm.
I don't know, in my own space that I have now, I like love having experiences when someone does break down. Like I
Yeah.
feel these services and even myself, like, I don't know, maybe I guess for me, one of the most, I guess, transformational experiences, probably if I could pinpoint something, is like getting tattoos, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But working through tattoos for myself, like, allowed me to go through like losing friends and going through some traumatic experiences where that was like my space to just kind of release. And I would
Mhm.
like go in and get a tattoo. And sometimes I cried, sometimes I laughed, sometimes I didn't. It
Yeah.
was like my safe space. Now that I've gotten older, I don't get tattoos anymore, so it's like working through it in other ways. But to bring it
Mhm.
back, like in my space with some of my clients, I feel like I've seen people that are just as soon as they get touched, they break down because they're being seen, and it's something that like people aren't getting those hugs every single day and being told they are like I love you. And so it's so important, like just having that space and having like your massage therapist to give you that. Like it was so important for you to have that moment.
Yeah. I love that point that you brought up is like, I think if you're not living that, how can I say this? Like, if you're not actually experiencing the physical touch, hearing the I love yous, like you said, like, it has such a big impact because touch is think about it. Touch is it's the first sense that we experience when we've come into this world. They like, you
Yeah.
have like, I don't know if I mean, you would know better than I do because
Yes.
you
Yeah.
you have kids. But,
Mm.
like, after you have a kid, like, as soon as your kid comes out of you, that's the first thing, you gotta put them on your chest and, you like, you need that skin to skin touch, right?
Yeah.
And
And they
so
require it for a few hours, if as long as
yeah,
everything's healthy, just for that connection and like to
yeah,
regulate their heart rate, and then also to start healing you as a mom as well. You're
yeah,
like working as a cycle is what I've learned through my two
yeah.
pregnancies.
And actually, like, you brought up a really good point around, like, if everything is healthy, right?
Yes.
So, I did a lot of work on myself too, and I've studied it as well too around, like, um when kids are born, like, from the time that they, like, come out, they're like, that really determines of, like, how their sense of belonging is gonna be in the world. So, for example, for me, I was born like, I was a distressed baby. My mom she had to get, like, a C-section. I almost died. The cord was wrapped around my neck 3 times. Like,
Oh my
it's a
God.
miracle that I'm alive. Yeah, it is a
Most
miracle that I'm
wow.
alive, right? But so when those emergencies happen, or if somebody is, like, born through a cesarean section, and it's not, like, the complete natural way for and again, like, this is I just wanna be clear, however you've had your baby, like, that's not always in your control, you know what I mean? So, it's not to, like, blame you for your kid's sense of belonging or not sense of belonging, but there's a lot of studies that have shown that if a child has been born, like, not through the natural way, through a cesarean section, if there is distress, that like, that's their initial point, like, where they come to this world, and the first thing that they're experiencing is trauma because they've been in the belly for 9 months, in this cozy, warm, safe belly for 9 months, you know?
Oh.
And then they come out, and it's such a shock to the nervous system, the body, like, everything,
Yeah.
right? And
Bright
so
lights, everything. Oh my God. Yeah.
yeah, all of it, like, it's
Oh.
it's overwhelming, right?
Mhm.
And so, um, some people like, I've had people come to me where they're just like, they've had really great parents, they've had a great upbringing, haven't had, like, intense trauma. I think we all have gone through a certain amount of trauma, but it hasn't been, like, the big T, and they're like, "Sam, I have no idea why I feel this way about myself." Like, and we've, like, sifted through, like, childhood stuff, everything, and then I've asked them, I said, "Okay, please ask your mom how you were born.
Oh my God. Yeah, let's get
What
to the root of this.
happened?" And
Yeah.
not even how you were born, but also too, what happened before? Like, what happened when you were in the womb? Like,
Yeah.
what was your mom's environment? What was the relationship between her and the father, right? Because even though the baby, like, isn't, like, physically in the world, it's it's an alive thing inside of the stomach. It can hear, the
Yeah,
baby can hear, it still feels, right? It's just developing at the same time, right?
definitely. I'm feeling the mom's emotions and everything.
Yeah, through there's a literal cord attached to
Yeah.
that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So all of that, like if you're somebody who's like, okay, like I haven't had any big T trauma, so like why am I feeling so like I don't have that sense of belonging or whatever it is, I would really encourage you to like actually explore, well, what happened at your time of birth? What was the relationship between your parents when you were conceived? Okay,
Yeah.
like how was your mom's pregnancy? Like what was happening? And it might be a hard conversation to have, with your mom because maybe stuff was happening. Maybe she was like having certain thoughts and not feeling great in her pregnancy because that can happen like not by her fault sometimes. Like sometimes it's like a hormonal thing, right? Where your body's
Yeah.
just going through so much like
Yeah.
it's hard, right? So like, we're not asking from a place of, like, blame, but just out of a place of curiosity to understand of, like,
Yeah.
because 'cause I've had people just desperately come to me of, like, "Oh my gosh, like, I just don't know what to do, like, I've gone to therapists, I've done all the work, and, I haven't had this big T trauma, but I'm still feeling like this," and it's very, like it's just it's very confusing for people, right? And
Yeah, like,
so
where is this coming from? And
mm,
it's, like, nice to
yeah.
yeah,
It's
kinda
nice to, like, get, like, a conceptualization of it because I think, like, once you have that conceptualization that there's things that you can integrate. Like, I had the practitioner that I was working with, she, like, literally made me, like, rebirth myself again. Like, I had
yes.
to, like
Yeah.
I had to, like, create, like, a womb space in my house where,
Mhm.
like, it was dark, a dark space. She, like, sent me like, womb music and everything, like, how it would sound in, like, my mom's womb, and I had to,
Mhm.
like, visualize myself being reborn again and, like, revisualize, like, my dad, he used to work all the time, like, he was always overseas and he was providing for our family, and so he
Okay.
wasn't present at my birth. I was also born on New Year's Eve, so, like, he was, like, running some dance that he used to manage hotels.
Oh my
So
gosh.
he was yeah, like, and it was, like, before, like, when my parents are immigrants, they're from India, and so they were, like, just building their life in Canada at the time,
Oh,
and
wow.
so,
And your
you know
dad's not there, your mom goes into labor, it's New Year's, oh my gosh, like
yeah, right?
yeah.
So, like, I had to, like, revisualize and rewrite that narrative of, like, how I was born in order to, like, heal certain aspects with my parents and, like, heal the
Right?
relationship with myself because that was one of the core things that was blocking me from, like,
Yeah.
intimacy, from feeling confident in myself, my own sense of self-belonging in the world and how
Mhm.
people viewed me because I had this belief of, like, I'm a burden.
Mm.
I always cause stress. I always cause and like think about it as like, well, I mean, I'm using this word because I don't actually mean this, but like I burdened my mom's body. She was in
Yes.
distress and like all of these things, and I carried that experience because obviously I felt that from her. Like
Yeah.
and even like the cord being wrapped around my neck 3 times, like
Yes.
that really related to a lot of me being able to express my voice.
Yeah, feeling that
Yeah.
strangled and cut off and
Yeah, 3
yeah,
times,
yeah,
imagine 3 times, like, that's
yeah,
wild. That's
yeah.
wild.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
so, I think it's, like one thing I really love about my work is that it's not even though I'm a therapist, like, it's not just therapy talk, like, we're looking at it from a holistic perspective, from the
Yeah.
mind, the body, energetics, stuff that's happened from, before you were even born, like, all of these things because it's so multi-layered. Healing is so multi-layered, and, I don't think, like, even though we see it online, I don't think that there's a lot of people integrating that holistic part of it too.
No.
Yeah.
Great. Well, and I love that you're hitting on, like, every point of trauma because for everyone, like we talked about earlier, it's
Yeah.
different, and so it can, like you said, be something that you don't even realize, and then as you come to figure it out, it's from even from your birth, which is crazy, and it's like, "Oh, now I
Literally.
understand how this is following me through with my relationships or showing up in my voice or how I'm showing up at work or all of that."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all connected. It's all
Yeah.
connected.
Well, and I love that. Like, I have not seen many people with that direction. Like, I've seen a lot of people very, like, hyper focused on, like, just more sexual trauma or things like
Yeah.
that. And like also I feel like there's a big talk about like generational trauma, which like
Mhm.
there's that's I feel like always been around, but I feel like what you do is so like individualized and really looks at a human and a person as like what can be causing this. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
what specific box.
Exactly, yeah. And I think that's a big reason why I'm still in the clinical social work field, but why I'm I've been transitioning out of it because it just felt very limiting for me, and I didn't feel like I was serving clients at a proper level because when you're in like actual clinical therapy, there's certain things you can say, certain things you can't say. And that's why like my private practice that I have is so
Yeah.
much more I see better results because I'm able to implement from this holistic perspective and an individualistic perspective because the clients who also come to me as well too, like they're coming they're coming like out of their own free will
Yeah.
because, they know that this is a different approach, right? Or maybe like not so common approach. And these are people who have done the therapy, they've worked through all their stuff. It's a lot of like conceptualizing work and not enough integration work I see that's happening, right? Which,
Yeah.
like, to bring it back to like the theme of this episode of like intimacy and confidence is like, you can do all the journaling, you can do all like reading all the books, listening to all the podcasts, and sometimes like we need to like pause on that stuff and
Yeah.
actually take the information, which again is usually the simplest things. Sometimes the simplest things are the hardest things, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not easy to do these things, but taking those things and actually putting it into practice in real life and getting those reps in real life, not just listening to it and listening to, okay, yeah, I have to do this, but then where's the action following up on it, right? Like
Yeah.
it really does come down to that. And one thing I talk about too is like expanding your capacity to hold stuff like within your body, within your nervous system. And the only way that you can actually do that again is through action. It's through, pushing yourself not like out of the comfort zone, yes, but not too much to the point where like you're so fucking overwhelmed that like you start to shut down. Like you need to know like, okay, this is a little bit of my comfort zone. I can handle this though. And then it starts extending and extending. And that's also too like how you start to rebuild back like feeling safe in your body, regulating your nervous system. It doesn't come with just like staying within like the safer realms, you know?
Totally. I agree.
Yeah.
Well, and definitely like putting yourself first and like you said, not just
Yeah.
like I feel like there's a difference of doing things that's like on the kind of mental side of things and health side of things, but
Yeah.
then having that balance. Like I know for myself as I was coming back from my maternity leave, like I was taking all the time going to these doctor's appointments. I was going and seeing a
Mhm.
chiropractor, which is great. And then I was seeing like an allergist and going to these doctor's appointments. But then I realized like after 8 months, it was like, I haven't really done anything like just for me. Like these are great appointments and they're helping my health, but
Yeah.
not something that I could like actually disconnect and like come back to myself and feel like I was loving on myself. And so
Mhm.
that was something I feel like you said, is so important and really like having that balance, whether or not it is going and getting your hair done or getting your nails done
Yeah.
or a massage or getting a wax. Like I know I have some clients that like waxing is just their bread and butter. And I can tell like they come in and they're kind of just like, and as soon as they get waxed, whether or not it's brows or an intimate area, they're
Yeah.
like lit up and they feel so good. And so finding that specifically for yourself as people are going through this healing journey, I feel like is so important, as well as working on the mental side of things. But finding that balance, it really can help people, I feel.
Yeah, I think so too. And like to just like expand on the examples that you gave around like waxing of hair.
Yeah. I
It's
love that
like
face.
yeah, like it's for like when you wax, like when you remove hair and like you
Yeah.
like literally cleaning up the area, cleaning up the energy as well too.
Yes.
And for those of you who may not know this, is like there's lots of trauma that's held within our hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
in the hair
so
follicle and even
in
getting
the
a
hair follicles,
haircut too, yeah.
exactly, yeah. And so, like, that's why, like, you feel lighter, that's why you feel, like, a renewed energy is because you've literally removed stuff that you've been holding on to, right? Like,
Yeah. Well, and
yeah.
on that
So
note, I used to do hair, and something that, I thought was really interesting, if you see or anyone has, like, a pretty gray patch on their hair, whether or not it's in the front or the side,
mhm,
usually that means that there was a pretty traumatic or, like, profound experience that someone went through, and it's
mhm.
not necessarily a horrible one, but it's something that affected their stress, and their way that their body was processing, and so their body was depleted with that,
Yeah.
and so it took out of the hair follicle, and that was something when I was in hair school, it was like,
Yep.
"Oh my gosh," like, I'm learning a lot more, like, I don't know, when I've seen people like that, I'm usually like, "That person is a badass," like, they've experienced
Yeah.
a lot and seen a lot, and it's not always, negative things, like, it could be a positive experience, but it's something that stressed their adrenal gland and affected that area.
Yeah. Because like, what happens is, like, your body is trying to function, and again, like, it goes into survival mode, right?
Totally.
Like, the first thing to go is, like, okay, hair. Like,
Mhm.
what function does hair have? Like, that's what the body's thinking, we
Yeah.
obviously know that hair has functions, but,
Yeah.
like, that's, like, the less thing that we need of, right? And
Yeah,
so
like,
it
we need to wake
starts.
up, we need to go,
Yeah.
we need to work on moving
Mm.
our yeah, muscles,
Yeah.
everything.
But it's so wild to me, like, how our body just, like, knows these things, like, knows how to,
Pull from
like,
that area too, yeah.
yeah, pull from that area, and then, like, also too, like, if we're introspective human beings, like, it's communicating with us. Our body's always talking to us, you
Yeah.
know? If
I
we're
love that.
listening too, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's another thing
That's
is just,
showing up,
like,
like, oh my gosh, yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, so I think the body and even the mind, like, although, like, they have their flaws, they're working for us constantly. One thing I used to study Ayurveda,
okay.
and
I love that.
yeah, and my teacher, like, she said this one thing that just stuck with me, and it was like, "Your body is literally working for you 24/7, and you don't even have to think about it. You don't
Yep.
have to think about it." And that is something that, like, we need to be more grateful for and extend gratitude to our bodies daily because it's working so hard for us. Like, even if, like, I just recently got over a cold. It was really bad, and I was laying in bed, and I just kept thanking my body, like, "Thank you so much, like, thanks so much that this is, like, not something worse," you know? I have a cold, it sucks. It's inconvenient, and I'm going through it, but I'm so grateful that my body knows how to fight this off. I'm so
Yeah,
grateful that I have access to, like, these natural remedies, and
totally.
then, like, when we can and this is what I mean, is, like, before, I would think, like, "Oh my god, like, this is happening to me," and, like, "Oh my gosh, like, my life sucks," you know? And it's like, the way that we're talking to ourselves and our bodies has a huge impact on how we're perceiving our life, how we're feeling confident in our body, and the relationship that we have, like, intimately as well too. And it starts with these small things like getting sick. It does, because like, I'm pretty sure that if I kept, like, getting mad at my body for being sick, I probably would've stayed sick for longer,
Oh my
you
gosh,
know?
yeah, talking
Yeah.
negatively to yourself. It's just like that study that people or I've seen where, um, you have, like, 2 plants and you talk negatively to one and positive to the other, and it's, like, crazy to see that, and I've even seen someone recently was it was, like, a water study where they froze 2 different water, and one
Okay.
they, like, negatively talked to, and the other one they positively talked to, and even water molecules were showing up differently, which is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, this is it really is, like, just changing that thought process, and yeah,
Mhm.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, I love this. Well, this has been amazing. We are
Mm.
coming to the end of our
Yeah.
interview. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us? I definitely want our listeners to know where can they reach you, follow you, find out more if they're wanting to connect with you.
Yeah. So if anyone here is interested in just healing their relationship to their body, confidence, if you're in a relationship, if you're single and you're struggling with intimacy, like feeling good in your body or communicating, verbalizing your needs, and just wanting to feel more sexy and confident, I'm your
Yeah.
girl. come to me and we will get you to where you need to be. You can find me. I'm mostly active on Instagram at I am.Samantha Gilhooly. I'm sure you're going to leave it in the show notes.
Yes, we will.
And then also, too, I have my own podcast as well. It's called Devotional by Samantha Gilhooly. And yeah, there's lots of really great information there. There's lots of episodes that you can binge. And I know that you guys are going to love it. So thank you for having me on. This has been such a fun and like just insightful conversation. I loved hearing about your experiences. Like, thank you so much for sharing all of that with me and just having me. It's been so lovely.
Yeah, I really appreciate this. I really love this
Mhm.
conversation. I feel like it just intertwines, especially with what the beauty industry is all about. And
Yeah.
I feel like each person, I feel like just beauty practitioners are similar in a way of what you are doing. And it's almost like we're all healers, and kind of finding
Yeah.
out that is just so important, and really how this can intertwine and how we can help people and also have them be seen a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree. I
I love
agree.
that. Is
Yes.
there anything else that you'd like to share before we end this?
I think that's it. I think that
Amazing.
yeah.
Thank you so much for being a part of this space and for listening to today's episode of Beauty Talk Confessions. I wanted to take a moment and recognize our amazing sponsors, Prickly Bear, a desert-curated post-hair removal skincare line with pre- and post-care products created to support healthy skin beyond the treatment room, launching this summer. If this conversation resonated with you, make sure to follow the show and share it with someone in the beauty industry. Staying connected is how we grow, learn, and support each other. You can also follow us on Instagram at Beauty Talk Confessions and Prickly Bear for updates, behind the scenes, and more conversations like this. And if you have a moment, leaving a review helps this podcast reach more people who need this conversation too, and it would mean the world to me. This is Beauty Talk Confessions, and I'll see you next week.